Hey, well met, travelers. Thanks for stopping by my channel once again. I've got a quick update for you to the Narnia story I discussed earlier this week in my second low effort video. I'm on my low effort content arc, so if you like this kind of content, be sure to give me a thumbs up and all that other stuff, which I will remind you of at the end of the video too. So let's take a look at this posting on Narnia Web, which updates the story I reported on a couple days ago, chiefly that Greta Gerwig and Netflix were having a dispute over whether she would get a theatrical release for her Netflix Narnia movies. Netflix is a streaming service. They don't do theatrical releases as a general rule. Apparently they have made some exceptions in the past to try to get Academy Awards nominations and stuff. But generally they don't do that. It's not part of their model. And Greta Gerwig wants a theatrical release. And so the story was that they were having a polite dispute, and I wondered briefly whether the project might be in trouble, but we have an update. So this post on Narnia Web says, IMAX release for Greta Gerwig's Narnia movie updated. So let's take a look at what this little article tells us. According to Bloomberg's Lucas Shaw and Puck's Matt Belloni, Netflix is in discussions with IMAX Corporation to potentially release Greta Gerwig's adaptation of the Chronicles of Narnia on over 2,000 IMAX screens worldwide, a major shift for the streaming giant, which has historically resisted large-scale theatrical releases. This sounds like pretty good news. This conversation comes on the heels of Gerwig reportedly advocating for a theatrical run of her Narnia films with Netflix's new head of film, Dan Lin. Netflix was reportedly unwilling to meet her requests, repeating that theaters are simply, quote, not their model. But there now appears to be a change of attitude from Netflix, as the company is now exploring a potential partnership with IMAX to bring Narnia to the big screen. And here we have a quote, presumably from one of the articles this blog post links to. This quote reads, quote, while Netflix and major theater chains have never been able to agree on a business model, Gerwig and the film's producers see an opportunity with IMAX, which has close to 2,000 screens in 90 countries. IMAX has signaled to Gerwig that it will add the film to its slate of upcoming movies if Netflix agrees to such a deal. End quote. The blog post continues, however, there are challenges. Netflix's long-standing policy has been to avoid an exclusive theatrical window, a key requirement for major chains like AMC and Regal, which would need to sign on for the release to proceed on their IMAX screens. Shaw reports that talks are still in the early stages, with sources cautioning that no agreements have been finalized. And then there's another quote, presumably from Shaw's article. Quote, a theatrical deal for Gerwig's Narnia doesn't indicate a fundamental shift in Netflix's strategy, but is another exception to its otherwise straight-to-streaming model, which it has occasionally veered from to satisfy filmmakers seeking to release their pictures in cinemas, unquote. Representatives for Netflix, IMAX, and Gerwig have declined to comment on the ongoing discussions. So all of that's basically a recap of what I discussed in my last video, providing a bit more detail, I think, than the article I read from /film. But earlier today, at the time of this recording, this blog post posted an update. In Matt Belloni's What I'm Hearing newsletter, published early on October 29th, new details emerged on a potential compromise between Netflix and Greta Gerwig. According to Belloni, Netflix is considering a 3 to 5 week exclusive theatrical run on IMAX screens for Narnia, theorizing a potential Thanksgiving release in theaters leading up to a Christmas debut on Netflix. I presume this would be in the year 2025, because they are set to start filming this, I think, in December of this year. So that'll be really cool to start seeing like behind the scenes stuff and set photo leaks and casting news and all that. I'll be following all of that closely. Anyway, let's continue. This plan would give Gerwig the theatrical presence she wanted after limited access to premium screens for Barbie due to Oppenheimer's IMAX exclusivity. I did not know that. So, okay. Netflix, meanwhile, could retain its streaming-first approach by framing this move to IMAX as a premium niche release. This move aims to keep Gerwig happy and on board the project, something we all want. All true Narnia fans want that. With top Netflix executives, including Ted Sarandos and Dan Lin, reportedly backing the plan, though securing AMC's cooperation will prove a challenge. However, IMAX CEO Rich Gelfond is reportedly eager for a big holiday exclusive, and his influence may play a role in bridging the gap between Netflix and theater owners. So basically what this boils down to is that Greta Gerwig and Netflix have more or less reached a compromise position, and the ball is now in the court of the theater chains. And I'm pretty optimistic that we'll get a theatrical release for this, and I'm pretty excited for it too, because based on the budget that has been granted by Netflix to this project, and based on the production design of Gerwig's other films, this Narnia film will be exponentially cooler than the ones that Disney made. The Disney's version, I should say, of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe was pretty good. It's a solid kids' adventure movie, but it wasn't great. And I think this team, or this director, has the potential to make a great Narnia movie, possibly more than one. So I'm really happy to hear this news. If you're a Narnia fan, let me know what you think down in the comments below. And if you like this kind of low-effort content, be sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications. And until next time, remember that what's best in life is to crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and engage in discourse with the women. Thanks for watching.